Decision 2017 on Talk Radio 640 WGST, and here in the studios of iHeartMedia Atlanta, this is Rich Sullivan, and we are inviting the candidates in the Atlanta mayor race into our studios to talk to them, to allow you to hear from them about the issues that are important to our city. Atlanta's mayor will be elected November the 7th and then take that office in late January. And we are pleased to welcome in Cathy Woolard, former president of the Atlanta City Council. Welcome to the studios of 640 WGST.
Thanks, Rich. I'm glad to be here.
Well, very good to have you, and I want to dive right into it and talk about what I think many would consider to be the number one issue moving forward in this city, and that is transportation and infrastructure. I've been talking about the 85 bridge collapse, which was a horrific thing for this area, for this region, for our state. It impacted business greatly. In addition to that and the flaws that it exposed in what we are transportation-wise, what do you think are some of the bigger issues moving forward for transportation and infrastructure in Atlanta, and how does Atlanta's next mayor take that vision into the future?
Well, that's a big question, but you've pinned the right one. I think traffic congestion, infrastructure is really top of the list in this election. We're poised to triple in size in the next 25 years, and quite frankly, if Amazon comes, it's going to be in a lot shorter period of time than that. We've failed to keep up with our infrastructure improvements. We've failed to expand MARTA over the years when we should. That's not entirely the city's fault. We have state partners who have been unclear about their investments in transportation, and as a result have sat on the sidelines. But it's time to go. And when I chaired the city's transportation committee 15 years ago, I thought that we should be expanding transit and growing our city around a transit infrastructure. I met Ryan Gravel, and together we made the Beltline happen. I'm still deeply committed to that project because creating a 22-mile loop around the city, a transit loop around the city that also includes sidewalks and bike lanes and connects to MARTA presently at 5 places, could be more than that, is a great way for us to start and give people opportunities to use transit instead of their cars. But we have to do more than that, and I want to put 4 other lines down simultaneously, and in the next 10 years expand our transit opportunities enormously. And we just have to do it now. There's no more navel gazing. There's no more hand-wringing, indecision. We have to go.
When it comes to MARTA expansion, it's such a big thing. Who are the key players in all of that, and what really has to happen in order for viable subway stops to be built elsewhere and expand the ones that we have?
Well, it's going to take a couple things. It's going to take a regional approach to that. The city of Atlanta and DeKalb and Fulton counties, and lately Clayton County, have been paying for the transit infrastructure of our region now for 40 years, and it's time for others to step up to the plate. We're also the only state in the country where our state does not contribute to transit operations. And the distinction there, what that means is that MARTA has to run on what it collects at the fare box. There's no transportation system in the world worth its salt that does that. And so we've got to change the mindset at our state level in particular, and I'm concerned about at the federal level. Our president said that he was going to increase infrastructure investment, by trillions of dollars, and we've not seen any movement on that. And we have to do that. Taxpayers in a city with 500,000 people cannot build a regional transportation system on their own.
We are several years removed from the APS cheating scandal. The Atlanta Public Schools, a big concern. Where is Atlanta Public Schools right now, and what are you going to do as mayor to take it where you want it to be? And what do you think about Dr. Maria Karstoffen and the job that she's done since she's been with us?
Sure. Well, Dr. Karstoffen has been a good leader and has been willing to, make decisions. That's sometimes that's the clearest leadership that you can give, is just make a decision and move. When I decided to get into this race 2 years ago, I called her and said, I want to have a relationship with you. I want to get to know you. I want to plan with you. I want to work with you, because we have to have a partnership, and that has not existed between the current superintendent and the current mayor, and it has to change. It doesn't mean we have to agree all the time. I don't necessarily agree on everything, but what it does mean is that we need to be working out those differences for the betterment of kids in our city and for the taxpayers who are their parents. And we can do a lot, but for me, from the city side, as the city grows, I've got to help grow healthy communities and support schools that are struggling because of the condition of the communities around them. And I think that that's really job one. Providing safe routes to school, all of the infrastructure improvements that the city's responsible for need to take into account how that impacts schools, how that impacts kids, and I'm ready to work with her on that.
One of the first things you mentioned when we started this conversation was Amazon. It seems to be the big thing right now. 50,000 plus potential jobs coming to this city with that company forming a new corporate headquarters here. There's lots of other stuff happening. Infrastructure and education, APS, factor into that. What else has to happen in order for this city's business climate to continue to grow at the unbelievable rate that it has?
Well, we're behind the curve on building affordable housing. We've kind of missed the bubble that's been happening in terms of building, and so we've got a problem there, and the escalation in price values, which are due to a lot of factors, has caught us flat-footed, and the displacement is real. We have people in neighborhoods today having to make the decision to leave because their homes have been bought by investors and there are not, places for them to move into at similar rent levels. So we've got to get ahead of that, and I think it's exciting. I've proposed, I've actually kind of written a letter to Amazon, like a marriage proposal, to say, let's have a modern partnership. Let's talk a little bit less about what we can give them to come here and what we can do together to build a world-class city. And I think that includes having Amazon as a partner to go to the state to say, we'll come, but you have to invest in transportation infrastructure. What I want to work with them on, in addition to that, is housing infrastructure. 50,000 high-paying people will quickly suck up and increase the rate of the cost of housing in Atlanta right at a time when we need to do something. And I think we can use their clout and innovation to think about, when they build that campus, how do they house people that need to work there that don't make $100,000 a year or more? How could they live nearby? How can we partner together to build the kind of housing that we'd be proud of to have and that they'd be proud to support?
You mentioned the name Ryan Gravel. That's, of course, the Beltline. His name synonymous with it, yours as well, as the godmother of the Beltline. In addition to the Beltline, what other things about Atlanta do you think are great? What are you most proud of about this place?
Gosh, I think I'm very proud, and I've been influenced in my life by the fact that we're the birthplace of the civil rights movement. We've let a lot of that historic infrastructure either get torn down or get destroyed by lack of investment in historic preservation. My personal commitment to myself is to restore that. I'll commit it to the rest of the citizens, but I'm a child of the the 60s and was really influenced in the choice that I've made to work in social justice organizations by growing up watching the civil rights movement. And so I'm very proud of that. I'm proud that the city of Atlanta has the only comprehensive non-discrimination ordinance in the state of Georgia, and I helped get that started, and I think that's held us in good stead. I think our tree canopy and our environment is precious and amazing, and anything that we can do and that I can do to maintain that commitment and keep our trees around is amazing. But really, I think the people of Atlanta, the heart that we have, the fact that people are really engaged right now and want to see Atlanta do amazing, innovative things, makes it a great time to be mayor.
Couldn't agree more with the people thing. I've lived here for almost 25 years, and the people are really just the soul of this city. Cathy Woolard, former Atlanta City Council president, I just want to give you the opportunity, if you'd like, look into the camera, give us your elevator pitch. Sure. Why do you want to be Atlanta's next mayor, and why should people vote for you?
Look, I think this next election is about how we grow as a city. We're going to triple in size in the next 25 years, and we want to make sure that everybody who lives here and everybody who wants to be here has the opportunity to thrive and succeed in the communities where they want to live. I'm committed to that, and I'm fighting for ATL, affordability, transportation, and livability, because I think that that's what this election is about. And if you look at my record, you'll see that I've been committed to it all along. And so you've got proof that I'm going to still be in there fighting for ATL when I get elected. Thank Thank you.
Well, Cathy Woolard, thank you so much for coming in today to the studios of iHeartMedia in Atlanta, and thank you to you for watching this video and for caring about the issues that are coming up. And make sure you get out and vote on November 7th, Decision 2017, here on Talk Radio 640 WGST. Thank you.